The person sitting across from you at the dinner table, calmly discussing weekend plans and asking about your day, is hiding a labyrinth of calculations, strategies, and long-term schemes that would leave you absolutely speechless if you could peek inside their mind for just 5 minutes. Your Capricorn family member has mastered the art of appearing effortlessly composed while conducting mental operations so complex and far-reaching that they would rival any corporate boardroom planning session. Every casual conversation, every family gathering, every seemingly spontaneous moment has been filtered through layers of analysis that most people never even consider. While you're focused on the present moment, your Capricorn relative is simultaneously processing current events, evaluating future implications, and cross-referencing everything against their master plan for life, a plan that has been evolving and refining itself since they were old enough to understand that actions have consequences. What makes this even more fascinating is how seamlessly they blend this constant strategic thinking with genuine care and affection for their family members. They're not manipulative or cold-hearted, quite the opposite. Their need to analyze and plan stems from a deep-rooted desire to protect and provide for the people they love most. However, the methods they use to achieve these goals operate on a level of sophistication that would shock anyone who assumes Capricorns are simply practical, straightforward people. The truth is that behind every measured response, every thoughtful gesture, and every piece of advice they offer lies a complex web of considerations that take into account not just immediate circumstances, but potential ripple effects that could manifest years or even decades into the future. They've learned to navigate life like chess grandmasters, thinking multiple moves ahead while making it look effortless to everyone around them. What's particularly remarkable is how they've managed to keep these intensive mental processes completely hidden from family members who interact with them daily. They've become experts at compartmentalizing their strategic thinking while maintaining authentic emotional connections. The result is that most family members see only the surface layer of their personality: responsible, dependable, and hardworking, without ever suspecting the intricate psychological machinery operating beneath. This sophisticated approach to life extends into every aspect of their family relationships, from how they choose their words during sensitive conversations to how they time major announcements and decisions. They've developed an almost supernatural ability to read family dynamics and adjust their behavior accordingly, all while pursuing their own long-term objectives with unwavering determination. Understanding these hidden dimensions of Capricorn psychology can completely transform how you interact with them and appreciate the depth of thought that goes into even their simplest actions. Their way of processing the world around them represents a fascinating blend of emotional intelligence and strategic thinking that most people never fully recognize or appreciate. The revelations we're about to explore will expose just how extensive and detailed their hidden mental world really is. If you're ready to discover what your Capricorn family member has been keeping secret, make sure to subscribe to Secret of the Zodiac and hit that like button, because these confessions will fundamentally change your perspective on how their minds actually work. The first area where their hidden complexity becomes most apparent involves their relationship with time itself and their almost obsessive need to control future outcomes through meticulous planning that begins far earlier than anyone would expect. The first reason: I've been planning my financial independence since I was 12 years old, and I already know exactly when I will retire. While other 12-year-olds were trading baseball cards or playing video games, your Capricorn family member was calculating compound interest rates and researching retirement savings accounts. This isn't an exaggeration or a metaphor. They literally began mapping out their path to financial freedom before most people even understood what money really meant beyond buying candy or toys. The depth of their financial planning would astound any professional financial advisor. They don't just have vague goals about being comfortable someday. They have specific target numbers, detailed timelines, and multiple contingency scenarios mapped out with mathematical precision. They know exactly how much money they need to accumulate, which investment vehicles they'll use to get there, and they've already factored in inflation rates, market volatility, and potential economic downturns that might affect their timeline. What makes this even more remarkable is how they've managed to pursue these long-term financial objectives while maintaining the appearance of normal spending habits around family members. When they decline expensive family vacations or opt for more modest gift exchanges during holidays, family members might interpret this as being cheap or overly frugal. The reality is that every financial decision gets filtered through their master retirement calculator, and they are making strategic sacrifices now to achieve complete financial autonomy at a predetermined date. Their retirement planning extends far beyond simple savings accounts. They've researched geographic locations where their retirement dollars will stretch furthest, investigated healthcare costs in different regions, and even considered how climate change might affect property values in areas they are considering for their golden years. They've studied tax implications of various retirement withdrawal strategies and have backup plans for their backup plans. The most shocking aspect of their financial independence planning is how early they expect to achieve it. While most people assume they'll work until their mid to late 60s, your Capricorn family member has likely calculated a path to financial freedom that could happen decades earlier than conventional retirement age. They're not dreaming about winning the lottery or hoping for inheritance windfalls. They are methodically building wealth through disciplined saving, strategic investing, and careful lifestyle choices that prioritize long-term security over short-term gratification. The second reason, I pretend to be spontaneous, but I've actually rehearsed this casual conversation in my head 5 times. The conversation you're having right now with your Capricorn family member feels natural and flowing. But what you don't realize is that they've already anticipated most of your responses and prepared thoughtful replies for multiple conversational directions this discussion might take. They've mentally rehearsed not just the main topics they want to cover, but also potential tangents, sensitive areas that might arise, and graceful ways to redirect the conversation if it veers into uncomfortable territory. This conversational preparation isn't rooted in deception or manipulation. It stems from their deep desire to communicate effectively and avoid misunderstandings that could damage relationships or lead to unproductive conflicts. They've learned that spontaneous conversations can sometimes result in poorly chosen words or emotional reactions that create unnecessary drama, so they invest mental energy up front to ensure smoother interactions. Their conversation rehearsals are incredibly detailed. They've considered your current mood, recent events in your life that might influence your perspective, and even the optimal timing for bringing up certain subjects. If they need to discuss something potentially controversial or request a favor, they've mapped out multiple approaches and selected the strategy most likely to achieve positive outcomes for everyone involved. What's particularly fascinating is how they adapt their rehearsed conversations in real time when you respond in ways they didn't anticipate. They're skilled at seamlessly incorporating unexpected elements while maintaining the overall flow toward their intended conversational objectives. This ability to blend preparation with adaptability creates interactions that feel completely natural to everyone else, while serving their strategic communication goals. The rehearsal process extends to family gatherings and important discussions. Before attending family events, they've mentally prepared responses to questions they might receive, topics they want to introduce, and diplomatic ways to handle family members who might create tension. They've even rehearsed facial expressions and body language to ensure they project the right emotional tone throughout various interactions. The third reason, I've already planned out my funeral arrangements and updated my will, probably multiple times. While this confession might initially seem morbid or overly pessimistic, it actually represents the ultimate expression of Capricorn responsibility and care for their loved ones. Your Capricorn family member has taken the time to plan their own funeral arrangements, not because they're obsessed with death, but because they want to spare their family members the burden of making difficult decisions during an emotionally overwhelming time. Their funeral planning is characteristically thorough and practical. They've researched costs, compared different funeral homes, selected specific services, and even prepaid for arrangements to lock in current prices and protect their family from future inflation. They've chosen music, written their own obituary, and provided detailed instructions about how they want their final affairs handled. Some have even recorded video messages or written letters to be delivered to family members after their passing. The will updates happen regularly because they understand that life circumstances change and estate planning documents need to reflect current realities. Every major life event, job changes, property purchases, births of new family members, changes in relationships, triggers a comprehensive review of their estate planning documents. They've carefully considered who should receive what assets, how to minimize tax implications for their beneficiaries, and how to structure bequests to provide maximum benefit to the people they care about. What makes this planning particularly touching is how much thought they've put into understanding each family member's individual needs and circumstances. They've structured their will not just to distribute assets fairly, but to provide each person with the type of support that would be most meaningful and useful given their unique situation. They might leave different types of assets to different people based on their assessment of what would be most beneficial for each individual's life circumstances. Their estate planning also includes detailed instructions for handling digital assets, social media accounts, and online subscriptions. They've created password lists, identified important digital files, and provided guidance for closing or transferring various accounts. They've even considered how their death might affect family members emotionally and included provisions for grief counseling or other support services. The multiple will updates also reflect their evolving understanding of family dynamics and changing relationships. As they observe how family members grow and change over time, they adjust their estate planning to reflect new insights about each person's character, needs, and circumstances. This ongoing refinement process demonstrates their commitment to leaving behind arrangements that truly serve their family's best interests. These three confessions reveal just how extensively Capricorns think about future scenarios and their responsibility to prepare for various possibilities. Their approach to planning encompasses everything from daily conversations to ultimate life transitions, always with the goal of creating better outcomes for themselves and the people they care about most. The fourth reason: I secretly judge every family decision based on whether it will hurt our long-term reputation in society. Every choice your family makes gets processed through an invisible filter that most people never realize exists. Your Capricorn family member is constantly evaluating how decisions might impact the family's standing in the community, professional circles, and social networks years or even decades down the road. This isn't shallow social climbing or superficial concern about appearances. It's a sophisticated understanding of how reputation affects opportunities, relationships, and quality of life for everyone in the family. When your teenage cousin posts controversial content on social media, your Capricorn relative isn't just worried about immediate embarrassment. They are calculating how those digital footprints might affect college applications, job prospects, and future relationships. They understand that in today's interconnected world, nothing truly disappears, and they're mentally cataloging potential consequences that might not manifest until years later. Their reputation consciousness extends to financial decisions that other family members might consider purely personal choices. When a family member considers bankruptcy, defaults on loans, or makes questionable investment decisions, your Capricorn relative is simultaneously processing the immediate financial implications and the long-term social consequences. They understand that financial reputation affects credit scores, business opportunities, and social credibility in ways that can impact the entire family's future prospects. Professional choices receive particularly intense scrutiny through their reputation lens. Career changes, business ventures, and employment decisions get evaluated not just for immediate income potential, but for how they position family members within their professional communities. They are acutely aware that professional reputation is often inherited. Children benefit or suffer based on their parents' professional standing, and family members can either help or hinder each other's career advancement through their individual choices and behaviors. The most complex aspect of their reputation management involves balancing authenticity with strategic positioning. They genuinely want family members to pursue their passions and live authentic lives, but they also understand that certain choices might close doors or create obstacles that could limit future opportunities. They often find themselves walking a delicate line between offering guidance that protects long-term interests and supporting individual freedom and self-expression. Their reputation awareness also encompasses community involvement and civic engagement. They understand that families who contribute positively to their communities build social capital that benefits everyone. They encourage family members to participate in volunteer activities, professional organizations, and community events not just for personal fulfillment, but because these involvements create networks and establish positive reputations that can provide assistance during difficult times. The fifth reason, I keep a mental scorecard of every favor I've done for family members, and I remember everything. Your Capricorn family member possesses an almost supernatural memory for interpersonal transactions that would astound anyone who realized the level of detail they maintain about every act of assistance, support, and generosity they've provided over the years. This mental accounting system isn't driven by resentment or a desire for payback. It's their way of understanding relationship dynamics and ensuring they maintain fair and balanced connections with family members. Their favor tracking encompasses far more than major gestures or significant financial assistance. They remember offering rides during inconvenient times, providing emotional support during relationship problems, helping with job searches, giving professional advice, lending tools or equipment, and countless other small acts of assistance that most people would forget within weeks or months. Their memory captures not just what they did, but the circumstances surrounding each situation, including how urgently help was needed and what sacrifices they made to provide assistance. What makes their scorecard system particularly sophisticated is how they weight different types of favors based on the effort required, the urgency of the situation, and the impact on their own lives. Babysitting during an emergency rates differently than providing career advice, which rates differently than lending money or offering long-term emotional support. They've developed an intuitive understanding of favor economics that helps them maintain relationships that feel equitable and sustainable over time. Their memory extends to tracking how family members respond to requests for assistance. They notice patterns in who is consistently available during difficult times and who tends to be unavailable or reluctant to help others. This information doesn't necessarily change how they treat different family members, but it does influence their expectations and their strategies for building support networks within the family structure. The scorecard system also helps them identify when relationships are becoming unbalanced in ways that might damage long-term family harmony. If they notice that certain family members consistently receive assistance but rarely offer help to others, they might adjust their own behavior or find diplomatic ways to encourage more reciprocal patterns. Their goal isn't to create transactional relationships, but to maintain family dynamics that feel fair and sustainable for everyone involved. Their favor tracking includes monitoring how their assistance gets acknowledged or appreciated. They pay attention to whether family members express genuine gratitude, follow up to report positive outcomes, or demonstrate that they value the help they've received. This information helps them understand which types of assistance are most meaningful to different family members and guides their future decisions about how to provide support most effectively. The sixth reason, I'm not actually a workaholic. I just can't stand the anxiety of not being prepared for the worst-case scenario. The long hours, extra projects, and seemingly obsessive focus on professional advancement that family members interpret as workaholism actually stem from a much deeper psychological need to build protective barriers against potential disasters that constantly occupy their mental landscape. Your Capricorn family member isn't addicted to work itself. They're driven by an overwhelming compulsion to prepare for every conceivable threat to their family's security and well-being. Their worst-case scenario planning operates on multiple levels simultaneously. They're not just worried about losing their current job. They're preparing for industry-wide economic downturns, technological disruptions that might eliminate entire career fields, health crises that could affect their ability to work, and family emergencies that might require significant financial resources. Their extra effort at work represents insurance against an uncertain future, rather than simple ambition or workplace addiction. The anxiety that drives their excessive preparation manifests in ways that most family members never recognize. They lie awake at night, running through mental simulations of potential crises and calculating whether their current resources would be sufficient to handle various emergency scenarios. They're constantly updating their threat assessments based on news events, economic indicators, and changes in their industry or geographic region. Their emergency preparedness extends far beyond financial planning. They maintain detailed knowledge about alternative career paths they could pursue if their current profession becomes obsolete. They've researched different geographic regions where they could relocate if necessary, investigated educational programs that could provide new skills, and cultivated professional relationships that could provide assistance during career transitions. What makes their preparation particularly exhausting is how they simultaneously prepare for multiple family members' potential needs. They're not just building security for themselves. They're trying to create safety nets that could support aging parents, help children through educational expenses or career challenges, and provide assistance to siblings or extended family members who might face difficulties. The weight of feeling responsible for multiple people's potential future needs creates pressure that drives them to work harder and prepare more extensively than would be necessary for their individual security alone. Their work intensity also reflects their understanding that reputation and professional standing provide protection during difficult times. They recognize that people with strong professional reputations have more options during crises, receive more assistance from colleagues and industry contacts, and recover more quickly from setbacks. Their extra effort at work is an investment in building the kind of professional capital that could prove invaluable if they ever need to navigate serious challenges. The most poignant aspect of their anxiety-driven preparation is how they rarely discuss these fears with family members because they don't want to burden others with worries that might never materialize. They carry the mental load of preparing for potential disasters while maintaining an outward appearance of calm confidence that actually requires enormous emotional energy to sustain. The seventh reason: I've been secretly disappointed in some family members for years, but I'll never say it because it would serve no practical purpose. Deep within your Capricorn family member's carefully composed exterior lies a catalog of unspoken disappointments that they've been carrying silently for years, possibly decades. These aren't minor irritations or temporary frustrations. They're profound letdowns related to choices, behaviors, and life directions that fundamentally conflict with their values and expectations for people they care about deeply. Their disappointment often centers around wasted potential that they've witnessed in family members who possess talents, opportunities, or advantages that were squandered through poor decisions, lack of discipline, or failure to think beyond immediate gratification. They've watched siblings choose relationships that clearly weren't beneficial long-term, seen cousins abandon promising career paths for questionable alternatives, and observed relatives make financial choices that guaranteed future struggles. What makes these disappointments particularly painful is how they conflict with their natural desire to help and guide family members toward better outcomes. They've often seen problems developing long before they became obvious to others, but they've learned through experience that unsolicited advice frequently creates resentment rather than positive change. Their silence isn't indifference. It's a strategic choice based on their understanding that people must reach their own conclusions about necessary changes. The depth of their disappointment often surprises them because it reveals how much they've invested emotionally in their family members' success and well-being. They've spent years hoping that certain relatives would recognize their mistakes and make course corrections, watching for signs of growth or maturity that might signal positive changes. When those changes don't materialize, or when family members continue making similar mistakes repeatedly, the accumulated disappointment becomes a heavy emotional burden. Their disappointment extends beyond individual choices to encompass broader patterns of behavior that they find fundamentally incompatible with their worldview. They struggle to understand family members who consistently prioritize short-term pleasure over long-term stability, who fail to learn from obvious mistakes, or who seem incapable of delayed gratification. These differences in fundamental approach to life create ongoing tension that they manage by maintaining emotional distance rather than engaging in confrontations that would accomplish nothing productive. The most challenging aspect of their silent disappointment involves family members whose choices directly impact others, particularly children or elderly relatives who depend on them. They've watched family members make selfish decisions that negatively affected vulnerable people, and their inability to intervene effectively creates frustration that compounds their disappointment. They often find themselves stepping in to provide support or assistance that should have come from other family members, all while maintaining the facade that everything is normal. Their decision to remain silent about these disappointments reflects their practical understanding that expressing criticism rarely changes behavior in adults and often damages relationships permanently. They've calculated that maintaining functional family relationships, even with people who disappoint them, provides more value than the temporary satisfaction of expressing their true feelings. This cost-benefit analysis of emotional expression demonstrates their commitment to family stability over personal emotional release. The eighth reason: I calculate the cost-benefit analysis of every family gathering before deciding if it's worth my time. What appears to family members as natural enthusiasm or reluctant obligation regarding family events actually represents the outcome of complex calculations that your Capricorn relative performs to determine whether attending specific gatherings provides sufficient value to justify the time, energy, and resources required for participation. These aren't cold, heartless evaluations. They're practical assessments that help them manage their limited time and energy while maintaining important family relationships. Their analysis begins with evaluating the potential benefits of attendance, which includes strengthening relationships with family members they genuinely enjoy, gathering information about family situations that might require their assistance or attention, and fulfilling social obligations that contribute to overall family harmony. They also consider opportunities to provide support or guidance to relatives who might benefit from their presence, particularly during significant life events or challenging circumstances. The cost side of their calculation encompasses far more than just the obvious factors like travel expenses or time away from work. They evaluate the emotional energy required to navigate family dynamics, particularly when gatherings include relatives who create drama, tension, or conflict. They assess the opportunity cost of activities they'll miss or postpone to attend family events, including personal projects, professional obligations, or self-care activities that contribute to their overall well-being. Their calculations become particularly sophisticated when dealing with recurring family events like weekly dinners, holiday celebrations, or birthday parties. They analyze patterns over time to determine which gatherings consistently provide positive experiences and which tend to result in stress, conflict, or wasted time. This historical data helps them make informed decisions about future attendance while avoiding the appearance of playing favorites or being arbitrarily selective about family participation. The geographic factor plays a crucial role in their cost-benefit analysis, particularly for extended family events that require significant travel. They weigh the expense and time investment of travel against the importance of the occasion and the strength of relationships with people who will be attending. They might decline distant cousin weddings while prioritizing nephews' graduations, not because they care less about the cousins, but because their analysis indicates that their presence would have minimal impact on relationships that aren't particularly close. Their evaluation process also considers timing in relation to their current life circumstances and stress levels. During particularly busy periods at work or when dealing with personal challenges, they might decline family gatherings that they would normally attend because they recognize that their reduced capacity for social interaction might actually damage relationships rather than strengthen them. This self-awareness about their own limitations helps them make decisions that protect both their well-being and their family relationships. The most nuanced aspect of their analysis involves assessing the political dynamics of specific family gatherings. They consider which family members will be attending, what topics might arise, and whether their presence could help diffuse potential conflicts or might inadvertently contribute to problems. They've learned to recognize situations where their attendance might be interpreted as taking sides in family disputes, and they factor these considerations into their participation decisions. The ninth reason: I pretend your emotional outbursts don't affect me, but I actually analyze them later to understand your behavioral patterns. When family members lose their temper, become emotional, or engage in dramatic displays of feeling, your Capricorn relative appears remarkably unaffected by the intensity of the moment. Their calm, measured responses and apparent immunity to emotional manipulation might lead others to believe they're cold or disconnected from family dynamics. The reality is far more complex. They're actually processing every detail of these emotional episodes and conducting thorough analyses afterward to understand the underlying patterns and triggers that drive these behaviors. Their emotional analysis operates like sophisticated psychological profiling. They note specific triggers that preceded the emotional outbreak, environmental factors that might have contributed to the intensity, and patterns in timing that might reveal underlying stressors or life circumstances affecting the family member's emotional regulation. They're essentially building comprehensive psychological profiles of their relatives to better understand and predict their emotional needs and responses. What makes their analysis particularly valuable is how they use this information to improve future interactions with emotionally volatile family members. They identify communication approaches that tend to escalate situations and develop alternative strategies that reduce the likelihood of triggering negative emotional responses. Their goal isn't manipulation or control, it's creating more harmonious family interactions by understanding and accommodating each person's emotional landscape. Their pattern recognition extends to identifying cycles in family members' emotional states. They notice seasonal patterns, anniversary reactions, and connections between life events and emotional volatility. This understanding helps them anticipate difficult periods and adjust their own behavior accordingly, perhaps offering extra support during challenging times or avoiding sensitive topics when relatives are particularly vulnerable. The most sophisticated aspect of their emotional analysis involves understanding the communication functions of different types of emotional displays. They recognize when outbursts represent genuine distress versus attention-seeking behavior, when tears indicate actual sadness versus manipulative tactics, and when anger reflects real frustration versus displaced emotions from other life areas. This analytical framework helps them respond appropriately to each situation while protecting themselves from being manipulated by family members who might use emotional displays to achieve specific outcomes. Their emotional detachment during crisis moments serves multiple purposes beyond simple self-protection. By remaining calm and analytical, they often become the family member that others turn to for practical solutions and clear thinking during emotional emergencies. Their ability to process information objectively, while others are overwhelmed by feelings, makes them valuable resources for problem-solving and crisis management within family systems. Their post-incident analysis also includes evaluating their own responses and identifying areas where they could have handled situations more effectively. They review their communication choices, timing decisions, and intervention strategies to refine their approach for future similar situations. This commitment to continuous improvement in family relationship management demonstrates their dedication to becoming more effective family members. Despite their analytical approach to emotional dynamics, the data they collect through this ongoing analysis helps them develop individualized approaches for each family member based on their unique emotional patterns and needs. They learn which relatives respond best to direct communication versus subtle guidance, who needs space during difficult times versus who benefits from active support, and how to time important conversations for maximum effectiveness with each person's emotional rhythms. The 10th reason: I'm terrified of being seen as unsuccessful, so I downplay my struggles even when I desperately need help. Behind your Capricorn family members' carefully maintained image of competence and control lies a deep-seated terror of appearing unsuccessful or incompetent that prevents them from seeking help, even during their most desperate moments of need. This fear runs so deep that they would rather suffer in silence, make devastating mistakes, or endure prolonged hardship than risk being perceived as someone who can't handle their responsibilities or manage their life effectively. Their definition of success encompasses far more than professional achievements or financial stability. They measure success through their ability to solve problems independently, maintain emotional equilibrium during crises, provide support to others without reciprocal needs, and present themselves as reliable resources that family members can depend upon regardless of circumstances. Admitting struggle threatens this carefully constructed identity and feels like acknowledging fundamental personal failure. The most tragic aspect of their help avoidance is how it operates during situations where assistance could prevent minor problems from becoming major disasters. They've endured financial difficulties that could have been resolved with temporary family loans, struggled through health issues that required emotional support, and navigated professional challenges that could have benefited from family connections or advice. Their pride and fear of appearing weak consistently override their practical need for assistance. Their terror of unsuccessful perception extends to how they communicate about challenges they're facing. When family members ask how they're doing, they've mastered the art of deflecting attention away from their difficulties while redirecting conversations toward other people's needs or neutral topics. They become expert performers, maintaining cheerful facades during family gatherings while privately dealing with serious personal crises that no one else even suspects. What makes their struggle particularly isolating is how their reputation for competence actually works against them during difficult times. Family members naturally assume that someone who appears so capable and organized doesn't need assistance, so they rarely receive offers of help that might make asking for support feel less threatening. Their success in projecting strengths creates a cycle where they become increasingly isolated during the times when connection and support would be most valuable. Their fear also prevents them from sharing victories and positive developments in their lives because they worry that discussing successes might make future struggles more embarrassing or disappointing to family members. They've created mental frameworks where they can't win. Struggling feels like failure, but succeeding creates pressure to maintain performance levels that might not be sustainable during challenging periods. The most heartbreaking element of their help avoidance involves medical or mental health issues that could benefit significantly from family support systems. They've endured anxiety, depression, chronic pain, and other health challenges without informing family members who would have gladly provided assistance, companionship, or simply emotional presence during difficult treatment periods. Their fear of appearing vulnerable supersedes their recognition that healing often requires community support. The 11th reason: I choose my gifts for you based on strategic relationship investment, not just random impulse. What appears to be thoughtful, generous gift giving actually represents carefully calculated investments in relationship dynamics, designed to strengthen bonds, communicate specific messages, and achieve particular interpersonal objectives with each family member. Your Capricorn relative approaches gift selection with the same strategic thinking they apply to business investments or retirement planning, viewing presents as tools for building and maintaining the family relationships they value most. Their gift strategy begins with comprehensive analysis of each family member's current life circumstances, emotional needs, and relationship dynamics with them specifically. They consider what messages they want to convey through their gift choices: appreciation for past support, encouragement for current challenges, investment in shared interests, or demonstration of attention to personal preferences and values. Every present serves multiple functions beyond simple generosity. The financial aspect of their gift giving follows sophisticated budgeting principles that balance relationship importance with practical spending limitations. They allocate gift budgets based on relationship closeness, recipient need levels, and strategic relationship goals, rather than spending equal amounts on everyone. This approach might result in more expensive gifts for family members going through difficult transitions who need extra support, or carefully chosen items that communicate specific appreciation for people who have provided valuable assistance. Their gift timing extends far beyond traditional holidays and birthdays to include strategic moments when presents can have maximum emotional impact. They give congratulatory gifts for achievements that others might overlook, supportive presents during challenging life transitions, and unexpected tokens of appreciation when family members have made significant efforts or sacrifices. Their timing strategy amplifies the relationship-building value of each gift by connecting it to meaningful moments. The selection process involves extensive research and consideration of long-term utility rather than immediate gratification. They choose gifts that recipients will use regularly and remember positively over time, avoiding disposable items that provide momentary pleasure but create no lasting connection or ongoing reminder of their thoughtfulness. Their gifts often become cherished possessions that strengthen emotional bonds through continued use and positive associations. Their strategic approach also considers the recipient's personality type and communication style when selecting presents. They choose practical gifts for family members who value utility over sentimentality, experiences for relatives who prefer memories over material items, and symbolic presents for people who appreciate emotional significance and meaning. This customization demonstrates their deep understanding of each person's individual preferences and values. The most sophisticated element of their gift strategy involves considering how their presence might influence family dynamics and relationships beyond their direct connection with recipients. They select gifts that might encourage positive behaviors, support healthy lifestyle choices, or strengthen connections between different family members. Their presents often serve as catalysts for positive changes or relationship improvements throughout the broader family system. The 12th reason: I love you all deeply, but I've already mentally prepared for how I'll handle every possible family crisis or tragedy. Perhaps the most profound and emotionally complex confession reveals the heartbreaking paradox at the core of your Capricorn family members' psychological landscape. Their capacity for deep, unconditional love exists alongside detailed mental preparations for losing the people they care about most. This isn't morbid fascination with tragedy or pessimistic expectation of disaster, but rather their way of ensuring they could provide maximum support and handle practical responsibilities if terrible circumstances ever required immediate, effective action. Their crisis preparation encompasses every type of emergency that could affect family members, from sudden medical emergencies and accidents to job losses, divorces, financial disasters, and natural catastrophes. They've mentally rehearsed their responses to phone calls, informing them that relatives need immediate assistance, and they've calculated how quickly they could mobilize resources, travel to provide support, or coordinate assistance from other family members during various emergency scenarios. The depth of their preparation would astound anyone who realized how thoroughly they've considered practical logistics of supporting family members through worst-case situations. They know which relatives have adequate insurance coverage and which might need financial assistance during medical emergencies. They've researched treatment facilities for various health conditions, investigated legal procedures for different types of crises, and maintained lists of professional contacts who could provide specialized assistance during emergencies. Their emotional preparation involves the most painful aspect of their mental planning. They've actually practiced processing grief and loss so they could maintain functional capacity to help surviving family members handle practical arrangements and emotional support during potential tragedy situations. This isn't emotional detachment or lack of caring, but rather their recognition that someone needs to remain capable of making decisions and providing stability when others are overwhelmed by grief or shock. What makes their preparation particularly touching is how much thought they've invested in understanding each family member's individual needs during crisis situations. They know who would need practical assistance versus emotional support, which relatives would require space to process difficulties privately versus those who benefit from active intervention and companionship. Their crisis plans are customized for each person's personality and coping style. Their tragedy preparation also includes provisions for helping family members who might struggle with decision-making during emotional crises. They've researched legal procedures, insurance processes, and administrative requirements for various emergency situations, so they could guide relatives through necessary steps when stress and grief might impair their ability to think clearly or handle complex arrangements independently. The most profound aspect of their preparation involves their commitment to preserving family stability and continuing positive traditions even after potential losses. They've considered how to maintain family gatherings, support surviving relatives through grief processes, and ensure that positive family dynamics continue despite whatever changes tragedy might create. Their love expresses itself through their determination to protect and preserve family connections under any circumstances. This final confession reveals the ultimate depth of Capricorn devotion. Their love is so profound that they're willing to carry the emotional burden of preparing for potential tragedy, specifically to ensure they could provide maximum support and protection for family members during the worst moments of their lives. Their practical preparation serves their deepest emotional commitments. These 12 confessions have unveiled the extraordinary complexity that exists beneath your Capricorn family members' composed exterior, revealing psychological depths and emotional intricacies that most people never suspect or fully appreciate. What emerges from these revelations isn't a picture of cold calculation or emotional detachment, but rather a portrait of individuals whose love runs so deep that it manifests through meticulous preparation, strategic thinking, and long-term protective planning for the people they cherish most. The financial independence planning that begins in childhood, the rehearsed conversations that ensure smooth family interactions, and even the funeral arrangements they've carefully prepared all stem from the same fundamental motivation: their desperate desire to protect and provide for their family members under any conceivable circumstances. Their reputation consciousness, favor tracking, and cost-benefit analyses of family gatherings represent sophisticated systems designed to maintain family harmony and ensure sustainable relationships that can weather whatever challenges life might present. Perhaps most importantly, these confessions reveal that what family members might interpret as workaholism, emotional distance, or excessive practicality actually represents anxiety-driven protection mechanisms and love expressed through preparation rather than spontaneous emotion. Their terror of appearing unsuccessful prevents them from seeking help when they need it most, but it also drives them to build the kind of stability and resources that benefit their entire family system. The strategic gift-giving, silent disappointments, and emotional analysis they conduct demonstrate their profound investment in understanding and nurturing each family relationship according to individual needs and personalities. Their ability to remain calm during family crises while secretly preparing for every possible emergency scenario shows how their analytical nature serves their deepest emotional commitments rather than replacing them. Understanding these hidden aspects of Capricorn psychology transforms our appreciation for their contributions to family life and helps us recognize the love that motivates their seemingly practical approach to relationships. Their need for control, their extensive planning, and their strategic thinking all emerge from their determination to be reliable sources of support and stability for the people they care about most. These revelations also highlight how much Capricorns sacrifice emotionally to maintain their roles as family anchors and problem solvers. They carry mental loads that would overwhelm most people, manage anxieties about future scenarios that might never materialize, and suppress their own needs for help and support to preserve their image as capable family resources. If these confessions have helped you understand the Capricorn family members in your life more deeply, we need your support to continue creating content that reveals the hidden truths about every zodiac sign. Subscribe to Secret of the Zodiac right now and hit that notification bell so you never miss our daily insights into the complex inner worlds of all 12 signs. Your subscription helps us reach more people who need to understand these psychological dynamics in their own families. Hit that like button if these confessions resonated with your experiences with Capricorns. And please share this video with family members and friends who need to understand the Capricorns in their lives. Most importantly, leave a comment telling us which confession shocked you the most. Share your own experiences with Capricorn family members and let us know which zodiac sign you want us to explore next. Your engagement through comments creates a community where people can share their experiences and learn from each other about the fascinating complexities of zodiac psychology. The more you comment and share your stories, the more we can create content that addresses the real relationship dynamics you're experiencing in your own families. If this content has provided value in your life and helped you build better relationships with the Capricorns around you, please consider supporting our work through the Super Thanks feature. Your financial contributions help cover the substantial costs of daily content creation, research, and video production that makes these in-depth explorations possible. Every contribution, no matter the amount, directly supports our ability to continue bringing you daily insights that can transform your understanding of the people closest to you. Creating this level of detailed, psychologically sophisticated content requires significant time investment and resources, and your Super Thanks contributions make it possible for us to maintain our commitment to daily uploads while conducting the extensive research necessary to provide accurate, helpful insights about every aspect of zodiac psychology. Help us continue revealing the hidden truths that can strengthen your family relationships and deepen your understanding of the complex, beautiful people in your life.